We are Spud and Joey. We are best friends, dads, and realtors. We also head up a running tribe here in Salt Lake City called Run with Mojo. On the weekends, we love exploring new trails and neighborhoods together. We aren't the fastest or the most skilled runners in the world. We're just two slightly out of shape dads that love a good trail run. We love running as much for the opportunity to clear our minds and have a good laugh as we do for the run itself. As runners, we know how mundane running on a treadmill can be. That's why we created the Come Run With Us project. So the next time you're on a treadmill, you'll have a cool trail to explore and a couple of buddies to run with. No matter what time of day or where you are in the world, you can always come run with us.
If it's recording right now,
well,
welcome to the Come Run With Us project.
Yeah, sorry if that beginning was a little awkward and weird.
This is too stressful for me. I don't know if I can handle not knowing whether or not it's recording. Now there is a red blinking light,
and
it told us on the screen. It said GoPro. It's a cold battery alert. If it is below 0 degrees, what was it? Oh, 0 degrees Celsius.
Yeah.
So just the screen's not going to work right now because of a cold battery alert. That's a thing.
Which makes sense. If the battery's cold, then the screen shouldn't work.
So don't do the screen.
Shouldn't work.
So here we. Yeah. I'm so anxious right now. I'm so freaking. It's going. Okay.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, it's dark here. Wait. Let me turn on this. Hopefully this helps with getting a little bit more trail. So we're on the Jordan River Trail, which
Bud, what are we doing?
We were just recently on the Jordan River Trail, but we were,
as you know, because you watched the show,
at a completely different place. So this episode, which we just had an awesome snowstorm last night, so it's really cool.
We got a long run today, and I did not want to run out here because of the air quality, and then we had this godsend snowstorm.
Worked out. So we're in basically Harriman at the Jordan River Trail. We just parked. Bluffdale? Are we Bluffdale?
Bluffdale.
Bluffdale, sorry.
We've been in a couple of different towns.
Yeah, sorry. We've been running for 2 hours. We're actually 2 hours and 15 minutes in, but it was too dark to record, and we figured it's just now getting bright enough, so we feel good about it. But wow, it is deep.
It got in my shoes, and I wasn't watching the trail. I just trudged into it. Great.
So
yeah, sorry.
Yeah, we're actually running closer to my neck of the woods. So it must, remember that whole once every 4 months.
Oh, it is true.
Wow. Once every 4 months, we run closer to my house. So we're closer to my place now.
Yeah.
And we decided to do that today.
For just a second, let's give the people what they came to see. There's a babbling brook down there. There's a Jordan Canal, Jordan River, obviously, Jordan Canal Road. And we are currently standing under the new Porter Rockwell. I don't
know if we should tell people about it. I don't want people.
Oh, that's true.
I don't want people to know about it because this is the new exit off the freeway that no one takes, and it makes it so my commute's actually easier some days. So
we do want to share good with the people. Let's share it.
Actually, you know what? No, we want to share it with our listeners because they deserve it. They deserve it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's a killer road. It's 4 lanes, and it goes all the way up to Porter Rockwell, so you can then go on.
Let's not go that into detail on it.
Okay.
Let's talk about. It's 24 degrees out right now.
Which it feels like 2.
It's cold.
Like my hands are numb.
I think there's a wind chill. Well, there's definitely a wind chill when we run because
we're running
so fast. Yeah. So this has been great. So as you guys may or may not know, Spud and I have the hardest time speaking to each other, not on the show, because
we don't want to waste it.
We don't want to waste any decent conversation that we might be able to drum up, when it not being recorded. And so
we didn't talk for 2 hours and 15 minutes.
We knew we've had to do this giant run because we're 40 days out from our.
Yeah, we're not far from our 48 hour Vegas Ultra.
So we got to get all kinds of time on feet. In fact, we were talking crazy numbers before, like 12 hours, 6 to 8 hours.
Now
we whittled it down to 4.
Yeah, now we're just happy to get 4.
We're doing 4 today, which we still had to, we still got up at 3 o'clock in the morning to make this happen. So it's like, it's no like small feat. But we got to get a ton of time on feet. We're just like, we don't have enough batteries to last all this time. Like, we're gonna have to run a couple of hours before we start recording. And wow, that's gonna be awful because we don't want to talk at all during that, waste anything. So yeah, we have it. We've just been running in silence, conserving it.
All the conversation.
Just yeah. No, it's been kind of awesome so far. We've been saying we haven't had a run, or we didn't have to like. We got to actually use names of people and share really super intense personal things and whatnot. That maybe makes it sound more than it is. I don't know. There's been a nice little change of pace.
I would say it was just kind of nice because we were able to, you know, not hold stuff, not worry about carrying anything, and also the simple fact of just being able to, you know, talk to Joey about all of the X-rated content that happens in my life. You know, that was good. Talking way more in depth about poops and stuff. That's what it was.
Way more in depth about what?
More in depth about poops, you know?
Sure, yep.
Stuff you really can't go in depth on.
Sure. Real gory details.
Because of it though, I have had something I've been wanting to tell you.
Oh no.
If you don't mind. Not poop related, because we've not really been able to
all right.
to communicate.
Let's have this be the episode that, well, too late. I was gonna say that we don't talk about it. But yeah, too late.
Oh man, this is beautiful.
But just for some reason we said we're not pushing it today. Just time on feet. And here Spud is.
Sorry.
Charging up a hill.
And I'm really amped because we finally get to talk to the people. Finally get to tell some stories I've been holding on to for who knows how long. Just hours.
So you said you had a story that's not poop related, because that, I mean, that's a wow moment, you know, like it's neat. Yeah. Usually your stories are, you know, poop related.
Poop related.
That was the joke there. Fell flat.
Fell flat.
Didn't execute it.
I was trying to think about how I could take that, and it just, wow.
This truck is never getting out of this back. Not till early summer. This truck is stuck back here. I got stuck yesterday in my truck, Spud. So
Ooh. Actually, I need to hear about your truck stuck, because that is one thing.
So
that I only know the Instagram video my wife tells me that is somewhere out there, and that was being stuck.
That was in true Instagram form. That was us showing the fun side of
getting stuck.
Getting stuck. You know, rocking the truck back and forth, laughing. Ha ha ha.
Let me hold that for you.
So let's switch spots then. And that is beauty.
Oh,
over there.
That is slick. Slicker.
So we get this incredible listing. It is incredible. It's this mountain retreat. You'll know about it by the time you hear this. It's the Back Switch Mountain Lodge. And really it's just this beautiful mountain home that currently sleeps over 50 people. And there's 2 unfinished spaces. It's floor to ceiling windows, views of the lake. Spectacular. This is my moment, and it's in an area that's, in the wintertime, you can only use a tracked vehicle to get in, right? I blow past the sign that says, don't drive up here. In my new truck.
Oh.
You know, feeling like it's just invincible. Didn't know I wasn't supposed to drive up there. And have zero issues getting all the way up to the property. The truck doesn't spin at all. Just drive right to it. But to get there, you have to go up to the top of this mountain and then just over it and back down into the cabin, into the lodge. Well, that part's pretty steep. And I get stuck. And instead of, you know, filming the videography for this property, and I had brought nice clothes, I was gonna be on film, I was gonna be touring people through.
Oh, man.
And instead, I was out digging my truck.
How long were you digging?
I think 2 hours, I think. Oh. And it was a bang bang. We had We had a Matterport guy, so a 3D scan of the house. We had social media videographer. We had drone pilot, the photographer, like the homeowners had to come out. I mean, it was this big production. It was an expensive day. And just sick to my stomach about it. And it was the first Chevy I've ever owned. I've only ever owned Fords.
Really?
In terms of trucks.
For some reason, I thought you had a Chevy before this.
No.
Huh.
My dad's a Chevy
Well,
guy.
yeah, I know he has one, but for some reason I thought you had one.
So it was what I had planned on being a very big day from a career standpoint, a very prestigious day in my career. This once in a lifetime opportunity to list this property. I'm gonna be on film. I'm gonna be touring people around. I'm gonna be hobnobbing with the owners.
This basically, yeah, this is your
Look at
moment.
us, huh?
This is your moment.
Instead, I shoveled snow with the wife, with the homeowner. When she came up, she had a Zoom call. She had to get on. They're business people. She had to cancel that to do this with me.
Oh my goodness.
They were like, we thought, like, how did you not know? Like, how did you even get up here? Like, they were sweet about it, but that truck's
They're like, we're gonna have to helicopter you out of here.
Honestly, that was like to the point. I'm like, I think some chains might work, or like we've tried pulling people out with the Trax vehicle.
What did you do though? You just dug down?
She told me, she's like, let's get snow shovels. I've done this once before. Let's get snow shovels, and we just have to dig your tire tracks out all the way up so you can get down to the dirt. I'm like, that ain't gonna work. There's no way that's working. Okay, I think I can run now if you want me to hold that other one.
Sure.
There's like no way that's working. She's like, yeah, well, you know, he's on a Zoom call, you guys doing video, I just want to do something. And I'm like,
or you're stuck forever.
I get it, but like, I think we're like, towing me out of here, getting some chains or something, like, whatever, that's the answer. She's like, well, we might as well start digging down. I'm like, it's like 300 yards. Like, and sure enough, we would dig enough to get the truck going, and I would just jam it and get, 50 yards at a time.
And then we just had to keep digging.
Then we'd shovel out like another, 50, 60, 70 feet, the tire tracks, and like go again. Like,
oh man,
it was insane. It was insane.
I just don't understand how they don't have it like roped off or something.
Oh, they did. I drove right past a barricade that said no vehicles, tracked vehicles only.
I mean, that makes sense. Total Joey
But they leave it open. They leave it open so that cats and stuff can get through there. But
so what were you supposed to do? Just get there and call them? I was supposed to
park at the bottom, and then we were all going to ride the Trax vehicle up with them.
Oh, okay. I mean, that was your moment. That was your moment.
All right, so what's your story?
I mean, mine is definitely not as exciting as yours. I just had to tell you about.
Here you go.
I just had like the most epic. So you have a little known fact about Joey is that he has like, I feel like, and I don't know this for a fact because I don't pay enough attention, but Joey has like 50 million nieces and nephews.
Yeah.
And they all like, again, this is my vision, they admire him, they work for him.
And the youngest of 6 kids. I was always the fun uncle, like the...
Yeah, they just must do, like they must have just like posters of Joey in their room. Like that's how I imagine all of his nieces and nephews. And so I've got 3 nephews from my sister, my only sister. And so,
your sister has 3 boys?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so.
Okay.
So 3 nephews.
I should have known that.
And I'd love to say I was involved with their lives, but I was probably the fun uncle for some of them, but also like I was 7 years. The
non-existent uncle for others, maybe.
Because I was 7 years younger, and so I wasn't really involved a lot. Billy, the oldest of the nephews, I was involved a ton because he was only 10 years younger than me, so he's like my little brother for a little while. He was always at our house, like we were babysitting him and stuff. And we go over the bridge.
Yeah.
And so like we really just, Billy was kind of the one I hung out with a ton. And then I got married and they moved to Hawaii and she had Brandon. They moved to they moved to Levan. Then they moved to Hawaii.
My oldest nephew is 12 years younger than me. He's this same kind of super close with them. Not as close as some of my younger nephews. But anyway, go on.
Yeah, so it happens. So then Brandon was the second, and then Brenner's the third, and he was actually born in Hawaii.
That's cool.
And so, and a little known fact.
Another thing I didn't know about your sister.
And I also don't know if many people know this about, but so my ex-wife Hannah and my sister were pregnant at the same time. She was pregnant with Brenner, and Hannah was pregnant with Macy.
Ah.
So small world.
But that's not that crazy. I think there's a lot of people in Utah that siblings are pregnant at the same time, right?
Okay.
With different ordered kids.
Well, I thought it was really interesting. So anyway, she had him in Hawaii. They were there for a couple years.
We have friends that they're pregnant at the same time that his oldest daughter is pregnant, was. His oldest daughter actually had the baby first.
Oh, wow.
So the aunt is going to be older than the nephew.
I guess that's probably pretty typical in Utah because we have so many.
That one's not very typical. That's not like that typical. That the grandkid just got born just before the kid. That's kind of crazy.
I mean,
this is actually a rad little part of the trail.
Yeah.
Have you ever ran on this
Never.
part of the trail?
So this is the coolest thing about this trail is like my trail I live on, but I've never ever been this far north because where I met you is the furthest north I've ever started, and then where we ran for your 30 is the furthest.
This is like a portion of the trail that you've spent almost your whole running career on.
Yep.
And that you've never been on.
Exactly.
That's
so
neat.
Pretty pumped about it. But yeah, so
these funny little snow drifts.
So
randomly.
I've been listening to this just epic book, 8 Rules of Love by Jay Shetty. And I knew when I was listening to it, it was just, you know how you're listening to something and then there's this voice that's like, oh man, why'd you just think about this person? And then I always act on that. I always call, V-message something if I think of somebody while listening to a book. So I thought of Brenner, and I think I've called Brenner once in my life.
How old's Brenner?
He's like 23.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he's the one born in Hawaii.
Yep, so 23, just epic age,
Oh,
whole life.
what a time to be alive. Like, what a time. 23, you recover quick, you're strong. Like,
can you imagine
really not a care in the world.
If we
didn't
did
realize
what
that
we
at
do
the time.
today,
Yeah.
then we would have just been next level.
Just what an age. What an age. What a moment.
Yeah, I wish I would have known. Anyway, so I think where this maybe came in from is like, I was like, man, if I would have had anyone in my world, that could have given me the advice that I have.
If you, when you were 23, you had the knowledge.
Oh man.
If you were given that advice, that knowledge.
Little known fact about me and Joey, well actually I think it's very wide now, is that we are bettering ourselves.
Very wide. All 28, well, I shouldn't say all. It's pretty miraculous we got 28 subscribers. You got 2 new ones this week. We might be at 30.
I mean, I'm pretty pumped.
It really is like, I look at a video now.
I would have taken it
and if I see a video has 40 views, I'm like, we getting recognized.
I'm the same way. Dude, the Rattler Trail episode 1 is at like 42. And I'm like,
So yeah, 42, that's like a street gang.
I mean,
you got 42 members of a gang.
It would
do some damage.
It would be considered a religion. It would be considered a gang.
A cult.
I mean, I'm just saying.
That's like I could make up a 3A football team.
3A football team?
That's a real, yeah.
Gosh.
We're gaining momentum.
I feel like next level. So
yeah, widely known.
Widely known. That Joey and I have been bettering ourselves with books, running, diet. Like we're always trying to figure out ways to, to improve the old bodies. And
Well, you said it best when we were running earlier, the practice suffering, you know, like,
ooh, yes.
that's, yeah.
Well, you
Go
got to
on.
practice suffering so that when you actually have real life events come up, but you can deal with them so much easier.
Look at this mega mansion over here. What is this unit?
Yeah, I
Is
feel like
this unit?
they built a house on the trail.
Man,
But yeah,
I'm like a little dog, just
so
barking at
excited.
butterflies. Let's,
Squirrel.
yeah.
But no, it's good. So anyway, I've probably called Brenner like twice in my entire life. And this was the second. So I get talking with him because I've been reading this 8 Rules of Love. And for some reason, this whole solo part just made me think of him and
I'm walking.
how you've kind of got to become good with yourself, you know, solo. You got to be okay with who you are and become the best kind of version of you.
And you haven't you're just prompted to reach out.
100%.
This is a nephew that you haven't like spent a ton of time with.
I mean, I spend a good amount of time, but I would say like 2 or 3 times a year at gatherings that the rest of the family.
Yeah. When was the last time you just called him on the phone? Just like reached out to
I
say,
don't
hey.
think I have.
Yeah.
So maybe once before in our lives.
Okay.
So I didn't really know what to expect, to be honest with you, but love Brenner, love him, he's a good dude. He's been, a little backstory on him, he's been bettering himself. He's lost like 40, 50 pounds just by diet alone. He's just been eating healthy. He does go to the gym. And so it's been kind of weird. We've been bonding more at like events, you know, because I've been working on my macros and stuff. So during events and stuff, look at the deer. Did you get that?
No.
Oh, it just jumped.
There was an entire herd
Oh,
of
look, there's one too.
there was an entire
It
herd of
just ran
deer
across the trail.
in my neighborhood this morning. It's crazy.
Look
There's
at
like
the
10
jump.
of them.
That's so
Oh,
cool.
I should probably try to video it.
Yeah, and so we've been bonding a little bit more on that stuff. And I knew he's just been going through a rough time. He's just recently moved, just doing a bunch of different stuff in his life. And so just called him. This was like the most epic conversation I've ever had with a human. And it's so weird how it went. It felt almost like I was like this motivational speaker. And it started with, you know, talking about books and talking about, you know, this 8 Rules of Love. And then he tells me, oh, well, I listen to Audible. I'm like, what? Like, you already know about the Audible? The fact that this is like something we do, something we're bettering ourselves. So then I told him about book club and told him how big of a deal that was. So Lehigh, right?
Yeah.
Dude, we might make
We
it.
might.
And so, gosh, I find out he got a credit, and I'm like, oh, dude, I am sharing every book we have ever listened to with you. So I sent him like every single book. Then,
And you guys are on the phone while you're like sending him these.
yeah, well, I sent him after, but I'm telling him about all these books and like why he should listen to them, and just, you know, kind of going over it. And then we're just kind of discussing, you know, where he's at, what his life's like. And he's like, yeah, I just went and visited the Grand Canyon. I'm like, what? It's a Friday afternoon. And he's like, well, I was just feeling like,
He was at the Grand Canyon.
well, he was like in a hotel by the Grand Canyon.
That's so rad.
He just went to visit it. Like,
On his own.
so he's 23, he's going through a difficult time, and he says to me, well, I knew that like when I'm driving, like I really like it because it gives me time to think and it gives me time to like process stuff. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you are already leaps and bounds ahead of where I was at 23. So he's going through this crazy difficult time. He's still going on this road trip. The first chapter of this book is about how you need to be better at like being solo and better at being like, you know, figuring out who you are and what you want. And we all know in our 20s, you don't know. You think you have all your crap together and you actually have no idea who the hell you are.
Yeah.
And you also like,
Great thing about running, by the way, is you get that alone time. You get that
that's why.
head time.
So yeah, that's what I told him. I was like, I know exactly what you're talking about because when I run, that's my favorite part about it. So
This is epic. And I
Dude.
don't think it would be this epic without the fresh snow.
no, I think
but-
we needed the fresh snow.
But this is so incredible.
This is like This is probably one of my favorite trails we've actually ran on. And it's funny because it's just a normal trail, but with the snow.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Keep
sorry, I
the shoes
didn't.
dry. No.
That was
don't
like
be.
that was an optical illusion. I 100% thought that gate was closed.
You didn't see the tracks that.
No, optical
Already
illusion.
went.
Thought it was closed. Thought
Who
somebody
lives down
opened.
here.
Thought somebody
Who
opened.
lives down here?
Some lucky,
Who lives down
lucky
here?
human.
This is the craziest. This is the coolest. You're right in smack dab in the middle of Silicon Slopes, and yet you're in a world all by yourself. I mean, probably get some train noises right here, but okay, sorry, go on.
No, you're fine. This is pretty epic. Like, this is crazy how, and the sun's finally coming up, so like I don't feel numb. Just so you know, my toes I couldn't feel for the last half mile.
But
I didn't want
pairs of gloves on.
I didn't want to tell you because I know you're like, oh, you're running.
I got
cold.
these little things.
I can't feel my.
He just runs cold.
Anyway,
Okay, so
as I'm.
homeboy is just surprising the hell out of you.
Yeah, and I'm just like, and you know how like you have a phone call and like you feel like you're the one that's like doing all the talking and like you're trying to inspire someone.
But you can tell it's not.
And you can tell it's just not like
hitting,
I'm
it's not
doing
slapping.
a lot of talking, but it's so funny because it's like he's a sponge
You know it.
and he wants
You
the
know it's
information.
slapping. Yeah, you know
And
it's
so,
slapping.
you know, it becomes a conversation of progress.
it.
And it becomes a conversation of like, he's like, gosh, it's been really hard lately because I had to move and I've been doing all this stuff and going through this harder time in life. And like, and I got a chance to just be like, dude, forward progress. Just, you know, it doesn't even matter if you're moving and failing. As long as you continue to move, you are not ever, you know, as long as you don't quit, it's not a failure.
you only
It's a
fail when you
lesson.
stop. Yeah.
It's a lesson. And just keep learning those lessons. And we get, it was funny because
I had this quote, by the way, you either quit or you keep going. Either way, it's gonna hurt.
yep,
Like, it's just
quit or keep going.
slap me in the face.
It's so
I love that when you're having that, when you're sharing with somebody some things that you've learned that really resonated.
Well, that's
and it's-
why
and
this
it's
is like-
clicking with them too.
This is
Those
why it's
tracks down
such,
there.
like, this is honestly why it's such a big deal to me. That, like, it's a phone call I had with my nephew, and yeah,
Well, on the flip
like-
side, there's nothing worse than when you are full of fire, breathing it about something that you just learned, and the other person just like, yeah, it doesn't really resonate.
no, I'm gonna look at that book.
Yeah, I'll check it out. No, yeah, send it over. We'll
Yeah.
circle back.
Yeah. Well, and I think maybe that's why is I've had, just because of everything I've been doing lately, like I feel like I've had a lot of those conversations where, you know, I'm talking about.
Well, so the worst is like the wife, right?
Well,
like,
yeah.
When you're just so pumped to share something with your wife that just slapped you in the face from that day from a book that you read or
Yeah.
whatever, and you just like, oh, this is gonna revolutionize our marriage.
Oh yeah, this is gonna change everything you know about me, the things I know about you.
And they're just like, huh, yeah, great. Can you tell the kids dinner's ready?
Yeah.
No, that's neat.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyways, I'm gonna need you to pick up the girls for ballet.
No, my wife started going, because unfortunately I start the same way every time. I go, oh man, I'm listening to this book. So now instead of even listening, she goes, I don't care. I don't want to know. so it's now.
I love Katie.
Now I've had to.
She's gonna let you know.
Oh yeah, she's like, no, I don't care, and I'm okay. So now I have to sneak it in. So I quit saying, hey, I'm listening to this book and it's awesome. Now I just say, oh man, I found out about this, and then after about 3 of those, she started saying, well, is it from one of the books you're listening to? And I'd be like, yeah, sure, I don't care. So I've had to figure out new ways of like tricking her with the knowledge.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she's making you hone your craft. That's
Yeah.
for sure. If you didn't have her, maybe this
My
conversation
negotiating
with your
skills.
nephew wouldn't have been so well. By the way, thanks for breaking trail. The backs of your ankles just look frigid in the snow.
Yeah, they're not too bad.
I don't know how long this goes on for, but
Well, I should have wore long socks. I put some on,
I can't believe you didn't.
and my calves are too,
They're just too huge,
big.
man. You
No,
can't
it's-
even get a sock.
I don't
over
mean it in like a.
You can't even get a sock. I have to
But-
wear ankle sock. You know, it's the burden that I bear. It's having these huge, glorious calves, man. You just
No,
can't even get a sock on them.
It's-
I can barely get my pant legs up, bro. That's why I had to wear Jinkos back in the day, man.
I mean, it was comfortable.
Now I have to do stretchy.
So,
Wow. All right, I'll break trail for a minute.
no, I'm going to this trail. But
This guy that was running here was a savage. I am taking
Well,
the
yeah,
biggest,
that's the problem is I
biggest
didn't-
steps that I've ever taken in my life.
Here, try these
This guy
ones.
had to have been 7 feet tall.
These ones are smaller, and he's got a
Okay.
dog, so he's got like
This? Okay.
so.
Yeah, so
Anyway.
you're telling your nephew Brennan
I'm
like
Brenner.
this stuff, and he's just soaking it up, and
And
he's
it's-
reacting. You can tell it's fire.
Yeah,
for
and
him.
it's like the first time this has ever happened to me. Like I can't tell you how many people I talk to about just things that I think are awesome, and they're just like, nope, that's not cool. So we get talking about like just like things that we're gonna try to do. You know, I'm like, hey, listen to this book. I'd love for you to do it. I was like, do you ever practice gratitude? And then he's like, well, yeah, I used to journal. Like, of course you did. Get hell. You're already leaps and bounds above me in every other way. You also journaled. He's like, but I got out of it. And I'm like, dude, let's send each other gratitude every day. And I know it's a little hippy dippy, but dude, sending someone one thing every day that you're grateful for and not ever repeating that, oh man, it's just next level. It makes you think about the little things. After a while, you have to get real creative with what you're grateful for, so it gets you thinking about what you're grateful for. Nope, that's not better. Sorry, I ran into the snow, and it was bad. And so anyway, we get that. So now we're gonna text each other daily about what we're grateful for. I'm really pumped
It
about
feels
that.
like we're running in sand, by the way. I know we're talking gratitude and whatnot.
Yeah, I'm so grateful for this thick snow to make us realize that when the trail comes back, it's gonna feel so much better. But
Hold on. What was the last thing you said?
oh, I said I'm so grateful for this snow that makes me excited for the regular trail because it's gonna feel so much better.
Doesn't feel like we're gonna get it back anytime soon, bro.
We are. It's coming. So, yeah, so we're gonna do the gratitude thing. Hopefully listen to some of these books. I'm pretty excited about that. Oh, the best part of the whole entire thing, I've tried to say goodbye to him like 3 times, and I just keep asking questions that then make me talk for another 10 minutes. So it's like a 45-minute phone call. And like at the half-hour mark, I was like, we were wrapping it up, super pumped, you know, I was so excited for. And then he just says, yeah, my buddies go to the gym, but none of them like cardio. And he's like, so I started running, and I can't go more than half a mile without getting, you know, winded and stopping. And my head, if you would have seen, I'm pretty sure it exploded.
I can only imagine.
I was like,
I can only imagine your eyes widening.
Oh,
as
it
he's
was-
telling you.
it
You
was-
can't even get to the end of
I know,
the sentence.
I did
Just-
interrupt him.
Oh my God.
I was like, wait a minute.
You're a
So-
runner?
Wait, so you want to run? He's like, yeah, I really want to get into it. I'm like, what? I can't. I'm I'm a guy.
He can just hear tires squealing, and you're racing to his house.
And
Look
and
at
so
these steps. Hey, no, on camera, take as big a steps as this person was taking.
I can't even like. Here, wait.
That's what are
I'm
you?
in the wrong one.
What are you doing? There you go. Look at that. Who is this person?
Good. And so
I'm a little miserable right now, if I'm being honest.
I
with you.
know,
So,
me too.
Please finish. So
my feet are
Brennan
cold.
tells you he
Brenner.
wants to get into running.
His name is
Your head explodes.
Yeah, and so
I just can't even. Yeah.
so of course, I'm trying my best to, you know, because you don't want to scare him away. Here, we hold this thing every time I
shoes
shoot.
untied.
So you don't want to scare him away. You don't want to, you know, make him think that you're gonna now go pull up into their house.
Yeah, I really wanted to document you tying your shoe with your gloves on.
I can't feel this thumb. So oh gosh. Oh, they hurt so bad right now.
Is this how you always do it?
No, I can't feel my fingers. Glad it's
Wow.
funny. Glad it's funny to you.
Woo!
guy.
That's good television right there.
Okay, so my favorite part of this whole conversation, I mean, obviously I was so grateful that I was able to.
The whole thing is just rewarding as hell.
Because
this moment to pass down this knowledge that
and honestly
gained.
and I told him, and I did cry once. I was like, man, I just.
Once?
Yeah, just once.
Okay.
I was like,
it had to have been a long cry then.
He may or may not have heard me crying. I was just like, dude, I just got to tell you how much I love you and appreciate you, because I just, I feel like we need to do that more with everybody we know and love and just cherish. And that was before the running. I got to let that, like, people know. It was before the running.
How long did the conversation carry on after he brought up that he was running?
Another 15.
You guys had already tried to hang
Another
out.
15. Yeah, another 15. So basically, like, when he told me about running, I kind of, like, just asked him, like, oh, okay, well, like, what are you doing? Like, what's hurting? Like, what are you... Because, everybody starts out running thinking it's just, like, everybody should be able to do it. And I'm like, no, like... So I really started with just the basics with him, and I said, hey, a couple of really, really easy, simple things you can do is just listen to your steps, because getting into running, I feel like everybody runs a little heavy. They do giant, that's nice. Okay. So I was like, it's like 50 or 60 pounds, or it's 50 or 60 times your body weight or something like that, isn't it? Ooh, that's pretty. Good thing you're here, it would carry me off. So the weight, so I just told him, I was like, try to do super simple, basic steps, run slow. I explained the whole, you're running slower to go faster.
Yeah.
I talked about, the conversational pace. I said, if you need to call me when you're on a run. We'll just talk. I'm like, that's what I do. And then I was, gosh, I can't even remember all that I just tried to give him advice that was like those
basic
those things you need when you're like
running.
Yeah, like he can't even run a half a mile, and he's kind of discouraged. I'm like, no, like that's where I was.
Poor kid has no clue. You've probably already created a training plan through 2028 for him so that he can do Jackpot Ultra with you. Like, am I a part of this evil plan also?
Oh, you are. Everyone I've ever met is part of the plan. Because but again, I've said this on the show. The reason I was so pro this show.
Now pause. I do want to, the reason you're so pro this show, don't forget. But this.
I love this.
This is Thanksgiving Point.
That's the golf course, right?
This little white opening you see out here, that's a par 3. I want to say it's number 4. It's a whole herd of rocks. the whole herd of rocks out there on that field. But huge downhill par 3, like 175 yards. Epic course. Then you got the long par 5 running down this way. This is so incredible that we're running right here. One of my favorite public courses in all of Utah. Thanksgiving Point. Check it out.
Yeah, I think I've only golfed there once, and I absolutely love it.
We have to fix that. We got to do it a bunch. That's one of mine and Holly's favorite joints. Not a lot of tree cover, but beautiful.
I did talk to Katie about it, and Katie was all about going and riding in the cart with us.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, oh, you'd
let's
go?
Go somewhere cool and like super scenic. We'll go up to like Wasatch or something.
Yeah, because I was like, so one day, like, you and me could get a babysitter, go golfing. She was like, yeah, of course. So, next level. So yeah, one of the main reasons, I mean, like, I think I've said it a few times about this show, is that I love running with people, and I always want to truly run with everybody I know. So like, if I get a new friend and they're into running, I know that relationship is going to go forever because we're going to run together. Whereas
all the positive ripples from running, just like the positive ripples that have impacted our life from the show,
yeah, it's.
So have you talked to your nephew since then?
No, so this was just yesterday, and that's why I was so excited to like talk to you about it, because it was just.
No, your AirPods did not just quit working. No, your speaker or phone or something didn't just Bluetooth and sync up with something else. It was actually the Come Run With Us project. We are having technical difficulties. And so currently I'm walking on a treadmill, watching the episode, watching my hands flail about, realizing that I talk with my hands way more than you'd think I did. At least I did. You guys probably see it all the time, so you know this. But anyway, our mics, or connector do, I don't even know what to call it, it froze. Something froze. It was so cold this day that at this point, all of our audio just quit working. So it sucks. But hey, at least it wasn't the GoPro, right? Like, at least the GoPro pulled through and finally did what it was supposed to do. And I didn't want to miss the opportunity to talk about the end of the story with, you know, my nephew and kind of his journey, because, well, to be honest, we were going to lose, like, you know, 8 minutes of this amazing footage if Joey would take the camera off me for a second, show the trail, which would be great. But he doesn't for a minute. I've watched it. So you just look at me flailing, just arms raising. Oh, here we, nope, wait, almost get trail. Yep, there you go. Now you got the trail. Okay, so Brenner was talking to him yesterday via, you know, this version of me in this episode, and conversation was just next level. So great. And flash forward, because that's what I'm going to do. I was going to try to talk about it in this whole past tense, but it was just, I was thinking about it, and I was like, I don't even remember that. So that's why I love recording all these episodes, actually, is because I go back and I listen to stories. I'm like, oh man, I would have never remembered that. So it makes me really happy. But me and Brenner have been running for the last, like, because this was filmed like January, I don't know, 8th. Now it's February, I don't know, it's almost Valentine's Day. It's February 12th or something. So, cool thing about this is, oh man, I gotta hopefully remember this, but the coolest thing about what you're seeing right now is Joey trying to cross a bridge, running. Look at him. You can see slows. Oh, it's moving too much. Oh, I'm gonna die. Oh, and then he stops. Well, almost stops. And this is where he's explaining to us, like, you can feel the bridge, you know, when you're going running. You see it, it's like a bird. And anyway, that's like one of my favorite parts. So me and Brenner have been running for like a couple weeks. I think maybe 3 weeks. He's been going in the morning with me. I've been running with my buddy Lyle, that's also doing the 48 along with me and Joey. And so I've been getting him kind of walk, jog back into running. My nephew, been getting him walk, jog into running. And it's just been so exciting. And so I wanted to jump on here because, like, what's cooler than hearing a story about, like, this phone call of this, like, talking about it. He's never really ran that much. He hasn't even really ran a mile. And then guess what we did? I got him his first 5K the other day. And then the other day we got him his first 10K. And I was talking to him about this whole entire Jackpot Ultra, because the Jackpot Ultra is coming up this Friday. So you're watching this the Monday after the Jackpot Ultra. So hopefully you saw some stuff on Instagram. You can go back and see it. We try to film as much as we possibly can because we just absolutely, like, I want to share it with the entire world because I think Jackpot Ultra is the coolest thing in the world. So the fact that I got Joey to do it is just the best. But anybody that wants to start an ultra journey, the Jackpot Ultra in Vegas is just the best. So they have the 6-hour, 12-hour, 24-hour, 48-hour, 72-hour. It's like the 100-mile, like, some, like, actual big deal race. You have to look it up because I don't know what any of it's actually called. But it's some USA, like, you actually, like, they track it. They make sure 100%. And whoever gets the fastest 100 times gets to qualify for other big deal races. So anyway, it's really cool. But the funnest part about it is the convincing the people to do it, right? And so this is my update. My nephew, Brenner, that I talked to yesterday based on this episode, has signed up for the 12-hour Ultra. So that kid is going to be doing a 12-hour race before he ever signed up for a 5K or a 10K or a half marathon or a marathon. And I am just so genuinely excited and happy, and just, I cannot wait to see his journey and just to feed off that energy. Because the crazy thing is Olive ran for 24 hours. So Joey and I started 8 a.m. on Friday morning, and Brenner will start at 8 a.m. on Saturday morning. And so the coolest part about it is that I'll have this like fresh energy and like this just new blood to the race, and just hopefully it's everything I'm anticipating, but in all reality, I'll probably be dying inside after 24 hours, and we'll just hope I can say hi to him. But currently, it's like, it makes me so excited, so happy. So, I really wanted to share that with everybody, and I took this opportunity, losing the audio, losing the mics, figured, you know what, either we were going to just cut the episode or do something or not even air this episode, but I really, really liked talking about that conversation. So hopefully it wasn't annoying. Hopefully it was kind of cool. And I hope y'all tune in to watch the Jackpot series, because we're going to do 4 episodes, or at least 3. Depends on how dead we are, to be honest with you. But we're going to do at least 3 or 4 episodes of the Jackpot Ultra. And it's going to be extremely cool, because you'll get to see kind of the starting of like how this thing is all set up. You'll get to see, this little, it's less than 3 mile loop. You get to see where, the aid station's set up, and kind of how you have a little camping section where you can set up your stuff. And I don't know if I told y'all, but I'm walking on a treadmill right now while recording this, because I couldn't sit stationary and record something. Anyway, sorry, my brain goes crazy. So it's going to be so fun to watch and experience, in my opinion, all of this like ultra stuff. And you get to see like normal people just out there doing it, and walking and jogging and walking and crawling and dying a little bit inside. But it's so fun. And it just shows that anybody can do anything, and we're all just capable of way more than we think. And so I hope y'all enjoy it. You are going to have 2 episodes coming up. So you got this one that you're listening to right now. You're going to have 2 more weeks. I know. I don't make the rules. I just follow them. And after those 2 episodes, so today's episode, next Monday, the next Monday, after that, nothing but Jackpot Ultra. So I understand if you're a little saddened. I would be too, because I want the Ultra. I want to be able to hear it, see it, feel it. But it is what it is. Wow, look at Joey's beard hair. Look at my beard hair. That's gross. I'm sorry. I don't know why we show you people things like that. But right here, we're probably getting ready to sign off. So I think I'm going to do the same thing. Hopefully this, doesn't make y'all go like, holy crap, they're crazy, they're annoying. Now it's just on me. So anyway, please come run with us again. Thank you for coming run with us today. Subscribe, like, do all the fun things, and just know how much we appreciate you.